Hi, welcome to Krush House Cappers. I'm your host, Wayne Allyn Root, the CEO of VegasWinners.com and the man the media calls the king of Vegas sports gambling and America's oddsmaker. I'm the only sports handicapper in the world with a 180-pound granite star on the Las Vegas Walk of Stars. And now I'm bringing my Vegas wise guy connections and Vegas insider knowledge to you. This is the show for every type of sports gambler, male, female, high roller, beginner, $10 better, $10,000 better. We're here to empower anyone and everyone that loves the single most important part of betting, winning. At Krush House Cappers and our sponsor website, VegasWinners.com, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Today, I bring Frank Nicotero onto the podcast set to talk a little sports gambling. Hello, Frank. Welcome to Krush House Cappers. Great to have you on the show.
Wayne, I love being on Krush House Cappers. Usually I'm just doing the normal Krush House, but I'm flattered to be here. I'm honored to be here. You know I'm a big gambler like you. I'm not as talented or good, but I love talking numbers with you, so this is great. I'm glad to be here, man. Thank you.
And I always enjoy talking to you. So let's talk a little bit. I happened to hand you yesterday, just for fun, my 10 rules in life about sports betting, how you win at sports betting. And you said to me out of the blue, can I come on the show and talk about it? I'm fascinated by this. And I said, yeah, let's do it. So here we go. The situation is reversed. Frank is the host, and Frank's interviewing me today about how I win, my 10 rules that have won for me for 35 years. Frank, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, Wayne, this is great. Listen, I looked at these all night last night. It's a fascinating list. I'm glad that we get to share it with the viewers here on Krush House. Now, the number one mistake that you kind of talk about is point spread value, which is something maybe a lot of beginners who watch our shows don't understand. Could you tell them where they go wrong with point spread value?
Well, they don't really understand value and how it relates to the mindset of a team. I'm someone who watches all the sports media and listens to, reads all the newspapers, listens to all the tea leaves, listens to the people talking at bars and restaurants. And I have a network of people out there that call me and email me and text me, and they're all gamblers. And I try to listen to what they're thinking. And if everybody's thinking the same thing, there's going to be value on the other side. So as an example, the New York Jets, just as an example, if they've just lost 3 in a row and everybody's saying they stink, they'll never make it to the playoffs, they're out of it, who cares about them, I'll never bet on them again, I hate them. At that moment, they should be a 3-point underdog, but they're a 5. They're +5. And I say that's value, and I take the Jets. I always want the value, Frank. So another team is winning like crazy. Everyone thinks they'll never lose again, and so they should be -8, and they come up -10. And so I'll take the underdog. I'll take the losing team. I know the value is with 10 points because it's supposed to be 8. So I'm always looking for value, just like the great stock picker, Benjamin Graham, used to say, value investing is everything. And when everyone is buying a stock, he wanted to sell it short. When everybody was selling a stock short or no one wanted it, then it was at the bottom. That's the moment to get in. And he wanted to buy all he could get with both hands. And that's the way I approach sports gambling. It's all about Benjamin Graham's theory of value investing.
And it's all about making Benjamins. That's the key. That's why we're here, right?
That's it.
Exactly. Now, listen, I love that. Look, I know you were born in New York. You used the example of the Jets going 0-3. That's going to happen again this season.
Usually true.
I mean, I know you're a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, so the Giants, let's hope they go 0-3 too.
Now, I noticed it was interesting. You talked about public perception and the media. Look, I think everybody watches all the sports and the talking head shows and the shows leading up to games on Sunday, and that's exactly what they think. They think, oh, I got to go that way, the way the media is going, but that doesn't produce winners at all.
No, actually, it's the opposite. In other words, that ties in with number one.
Yeah.
My number one rule was value. And you know how you create value? By going against what the media is saying. It's not even the guy at the bar. The 12 guys at the bar who all think that the Jets stink, they got that because they heard the announcer on TV say it, and the anchorman on TV, and the whoever the Jimmy the Greek is, at each TV network, the expert on sports gambling. If they hear enough people in the media who are experts say that this team's a great bet and this team's a bad bet, they follow them. Everybody thinks the same way. It's tunnel vision. All they know is what they saw on TV. So I watch TV and I do the opposite of whatever I hear on TV. I believe the media is always wrong. Now, let me finish with a great bang here, because I used to be an anchor man and the lead anchor of a company called FNN Sports, which was CNBC. Right before it became CNBC, it was called Financial News Network. And on weekends, Frank, it was all sports. And I hosted 5 shows and gave the sports scores and went to the stadiums and interviewed the players and had the ultimate sports gambling show with Jimmy the Greek. I was Mr. Media. And you know what I saw? That's where I learned this. Everybody in the locker room thought that, in the newsroom, thought they knew everything about sports. And they were always wrong. Whatever they said, as far as betting goes, always the opposite. So I would listen to 5 other anchormen who just got back from Dodger Stadium, Rams Stadium, Kings, Los Angeles Kings in hockey, the Lakers. They were in the locker room. They'd come back and they'd say, I'm calling my bookie. I'm betting on Magic. I just was in the locker room. And they'd lose every time. So I realized the media's never right. So I go against the media at all times.
Now one of the other rules is you're talking about people love to bet on the glamour teams, right? I mean, I assume you're talking about like Tampa Bay with Tom Brady or when he was
right.
at the Patriots. Or these big name teams. That's not always a wise move, right?
Right, Frank, exactly. I like the guys with the high top black shoes that run slow. I'm not into the streaky teams and the glamour teams and the great offenses, although I've got my favorite team. Dallas has a great offense this year. It's going to be very exciting, and they may get the most points in the NFL this year. A lot of people feel that way. Great offense. But I don't like great offenses for betting. I bet against great offenses. I bet on great defenses. Defense never gets you headlines, but it wins the game. And I'll just give you one quick example. Everybody in America bet on Kansas City in the Super Bowl against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And there's no question Kansas City, great quarterback, great offense, every player fantastic. How bad did they beat him? What was it, like 32-9? Whatever the score was, they crushed them. Defense wins games. Tampa Bay at Brady, that's not why I bet on them. I bet on them because Tampa Bay had a far superior defense to Kansas City. And when I put my money down, I always bet on boring, plodding defense, not exciting offense that makes the headlines. And I find in life it's the same thing. Show me someone or something flashy, and they're a flash in the pan. But show me someone steady who plays great defense and thinks like a chess game. That's the guy I'm betting on, or that's the gal I'm betting on every time. Always bet on defense, not offense.
Yeah, I mean, defense wins championships. That's an old saying, but it holds
and it
true.
Works. And it wins bets.
And look at how.
And it wins bets.
Yeah, and wins bets. I mean, Tampa Bay's defense was so fast in that Super Bowl. Kansas City had never seen speed like that. And Tampa Bay's bringing back all 11 starters. I mean, this team, as much as they are a glamour team, you got to watch out for that team.
Yeah, but wait. Let's finish with a real, flair, right?
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to finish with. You just said best team in football, best defense, won the Super Bowl, dominated the playoffs. And now they're back with all 22 players, all 11 on defense, all 11 on offense. First Super Bowl winner in history to bring back all 22 starters. I'll be betting against them all year long. Why? Because everyone's going to be betting on them. The value is going to be betting against Brady and Tampa Bay in the right spots all year long. I won't bet against them 17 games in a row, but I'll pick like 8 or 9 games where they're just impossible to bet against them, and the value goes through the roof, and I'll take the underdog against the returning Super Bowl champion with 22 starters. And don't forget, they'll have a target on their back. Every game they play, the other team is up for the game of the year. Everyone wants to beat the returning Super Bowl champion, and usually the next year they don't do very well. Now, usually in week 1 they do at home, opening up as the defending champions against my Dallas Cowboys. They usually do well. But the rest of the year, the Super Bowl champ is a bet against. This year, with Brady and 22 starters returning, I'll bet against them again and again all season long.
Well, see, that's interesting because I'm not you. I haven't been doing this for 35 years and producing winners. I always tend to bet the favorites because I look at the line and go, favorites are supposed to win, then they should cover the line, right? And I think the public bets on favorites a lot. And,
yes, they do.
And you've already mentioned that, you like to take the underdogs.
99% of the time. 99% of the time. I take an occasional favorite when everybody's on the underdog. But 99% of the time, people are on the favorite. And then it's just a few key situations, few key games each week where they're overwhelmingly on the favorite. That's the games I pick for my underdog. Remember, I'm not betting every game on the board, Frank. That's a big mistake, too.
Yeah.
I'm picking 3 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday that are my absolute biggest plays that I'm willing to put risk huge money on. And then I give out other plays too. But the ones that I care about with the highest level of winning percentage are usually the ones where everybody in the betting public's on one side and I'm in the other. I love it when it's 85% or higher on one side. I take the other. And how do I know what it is? Because I'm out there listening. My ear is to the ground. My nose is to the groundstone. My finger's on the pulse. I know what everyone's doing. And I could tell you what the most overwhelming 3 games of the week are. And I go against them. And you wouldn't believe how often I win 2 out of 3. I'm not trying to go 3-0. I'm trying to grind it out and win 2 out of 3 most weeks. And that's what I do. And so it's been a great 35 years of doing this.
Hey, I'll take 2 out of 3 from you every weekend because guess what? That means you're on the positive side if you're being consistent with your bets, right? Now, here's a mistake that I make. I'm at the sports bar with my buddies. A game pops up. It's about to start. And you're like, oh, this game's on TV. I got to bet it. That's one of the dumbest rules, right? Betting always on the game in front of you.
Yeah, let me give a mixed response to this. And I think we'll end with this because I got a whole bunch of other rules and we'll finish it next week with a part 2, which I think will be real interesting to people that look forward to it. But I have mixed response on this one. Yes, it's a mistake to bet big money on a game just because it's on TV or just because it's Monday Night Football or just because it's Sunday Night Football and it's the glamour game of the week. That doesn't make it a better betting opportunity than all the other games. Sometimes the best betting opportunity is UNLV against San Jose State. You know, who's watching that game? Only Wayne Root, because I got my money on San Jose State. I never bet on UNLV. They stink. But all I could tell you, Frank, is here's the other side of that coin. I can't watch a game unless I bet on it. Betting makes games fun. I guess in the end, I'm really not a sports fan because I love sports. I'm obsessed with sports, but only if I have money on the game. So if a game's on TV and I don't see any edge, I won't bet it. See, that's the mistake. I won't bet it. You don't bet a game just because it's on TV. That's a rule. But if I'm out with my friends and they all want to watch the game, I'll put $100 on it just so I've got a rooting interest and now the game means something to me. I love betting on TV games. Everybody does. It's what makes it fun. But I wouldn't put 1,000 on it. I wouldn't put 10,000 on it. I'll put 100 on it just to make it fun. Same thing with my Dallas Cowboys. I love them. They're my life. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, I love them. But most games, I just put $100 and I sit and I root for them for fun. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I take my family out to dinner. Who cares? I'm betting on my team. But if I don't care about that game point spread wise, I'm just betting 100 for fun. But I'm never going to take it seriously if I don't have a huge winning edge. That's what betting's about. So to sum it up, bet on a TV game, but bet $5 on it just to give you a rooting interest. But when it's a great TV game with the winning percentages on your side, that's when you send it home, and it's so much fun to watch 3 hours of your favorite team with money on the game.
See, I love that because you kind of gave a reason on why to and why not and stay small on it. I love that because you like with your Cowboys, it's me with my Steelers. I do the same thing. And I always try to not get my heart involved and bet a little safer with those games and kind of concentrate on other games. Wayne, listen, we got about halfway through of these rules. Listen, I literally want to put these on tablets and take them to the top of the mountain so people
Should I call you Moses? And
Yes,
I won't say what I am. I'm not going to say a word.
Well, listen, we can talk about the other half next week because we can talk about chasing the Sunday or the Monday night game, which I think a lot of our people do. So we'll just tease with that. We're going to talk about chasing when you're down and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. So anyway, Wayne Allyn Root, this is why we have the King of Vegas handicappers on Krush House helping you guys out. Beginners, experts, listen to these rules, live by them. He's going to help you win. Am I right, Wayne?
I'm right. And by the way, you said our people. I assume you haven't turned Jewish overnight. You mean gamblers.
I'm not gamblers. But I did recently get an update from Ancestry.com. I'm 1% Jewish, so I don't know.
There you go. So it is our people.
It is
no,
our
he's talking about sports bettors. Our people, sports bettors here at Krush House and at VegasWinners.com. Our people are sports bettors. I don't care if you're white or black, Jewish or Christian. I don't care what you are. You're all our people if you like to bet on sports. I'm just kidding around. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Frank.
Thanks, Wayne.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us on Krush House. That wasn't Frank great. Him and I interact. I just love this guy. I want you to remember, you can sign up right now to become a part of the Krush House gang and unlock all my winning picks for free, only at VegasWinners.com. What else can you do at VegasWinners.com? Check out all our entertaining and informative Krush House podcasts. Enter to win fabulous prizes, including trips to Vegas to join me and the Krush House gang to watch a game, break some bread, and experience Sin City like few ever will. And most importantly, it's all about the Benjamins. The winning is free at VegasWinners.com. Just go to VegasWinners.com right now, register, and you automatically get the picks, the wisdom, the analysis, and the winning point spread advice. It's all free. Also, a big thank you to Frank Nicotero for dropping in. I enjoyed our chat about sports gambling immensely. If you like what you saw or heard, come back and tune in to Krush House Cappers every week, only on the Krush House Network, which includes Krush House and Krush House Legends podcasts. Thanks for dropping in to another episode of Krush House Cappers, because winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. Until next time, just win big, baby.